going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today I want to talk a little bit about Stephen A. Smith. We're gonna stay on this with his contract negotiations coming up with ESPN. Well, they're actually in negotiations, and it was reported last week that Stephen A. Smith wanted somewhere in the ballpark of 20 million. Well, now they're saying it's up to 25 million annually, and I could assume that they probably want him to expand his programming, do even more than he's doing, if that's even possible, like they're going to do with Shannon Sharp. He's going to probably be plugging and playing in here. So if they give him 25, they want to just make Stephen A live there, it sound like. But it's being reported that they're only offering about 18. So this ESPN executive, Bert Magnus, I believe his name is, he appeared on the Sports Media Podcast with Richard Deitch. I guess that's how you say his name. I don't want to say it wrong, but um, he had this to say about Stephen A. Smith. They asked him what would happen if Stephen A. Smith were to leave the program, and he said First Take would continue, obviously. We'd figure that out. The great part about the environment that we live in, there is a wealth of talented people out there who, if given the chance, I think could become superstars very easily on our platform. The format of First Take, I think, lends to that. It's already an ensemble situation in so many ways. So I don't worry about that at all. And so he says, First Take, which is his primary assignment, is a juggernaut. I think we're going to get 24 straight months of month over month, year over year audience growth. That just doesn't happen in today's world. It happens because he's built this show. I feel as good about our 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. lineup as I've ever felt, and I think the results bear that out. He's a key component to that. So, he said that about Stephen A. Smith, and that made me raise my eyebrow a little bit with the way that he said it. I know Stephen A. Smith, I always go back to this. He says he wakes up and he thinks about how to make his boss's money and how he get some of it. And he stood on it lately, but in the back of your mind, when you hear them say they could just bring in someone and they could be a superstar on the network, shows that they don't value you as much as you think. And the executive said we had 24 months of month over month, year over year growth. I know Stephen A. Smith like to say we're number one, which he's a part of it, but these guys are coming forth and saying that, it really fattens our pockets and we just pinching pennies off of billions, hundreds of millions of dollars that y'all making for us. And so, Stephen A. Smith, man, he's saying, let me get that 25 million. And I don't know if the negotiation has anything to do with the money per se or what Stephen A. Smith's willing to do for the money. You got to look at Stephen A. Smith's age, man. Stephen A. should kind of just be able to do what he wants for the network for the most part. Do First Take, plug in sometimes, but not be so obligated to run around like he's still 33, 35 years old. Man, getting up there, and he carried the network at a time where they were letting a lot of talent go. They were just plugging in Stephen A. Smith everywhere, everywhere. And so, for him to come out and say that, it just made me raise my eyebrow a little bit. And just to remember, they don't really appreciate you to the level or the amount of work that you're putting in. I think Stephen A. Smith would be a hard person to replace on First Take. Anytime you see somebody face on a show that long, I mean, you would have to come with some new programming because Stephen A. Smith is First Take at this point. I know they would think about trying to give it to Shannon. I don't know if Shannon takes that. I think he cares more about Nightcap and still getting his interviews with Club Shay Shay. I think his schedule is going to have to be um, clean enough for him to continue that. I don't think he puts down what he's worked on and built up to this point. And so I think retaining Stephen A. Smith, I mean, giving him 25 million, I don't think is the worst thing. He wants to be the highest paid talent. But with that, Stephen A. need to make sure somebody ain't just gonna come in and get way more than him once he resets the market. So we'll see how this thing plays out. I believe they got to next June, next July, something like that. I can't remember when this contract is up, but I think it is in 2025. So Stephen A. Smith, man, we're gonna be looking. We're gonna see how this thing plays out. I want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Though, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down.
I'm not going to take it down.
Skip, 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 skip.